solar cell or photovoltaic cell. Why solar cell is called photovoltaic cell? Because we produce voltage or potential by using light. Solar cell is a PN junction device which converts solar energy into electrical energy. Then we will discuss about the construction of solar cell. Solar cell consists of a PN junction diode. It is nothing but a PN junction diode. Semiconductor with band gap. Semiconductors whose band gap is close to 1.5 electron volt are ideal materials for solar cell fabrication. So before going to know about the construction of the solar cell, let us know about the materials from which we prepare the solar cells. The materials used in solar cells are basically silicon. The band gap of silicon is 1.1 electron volt. You have also material like the alloys gallium arsenide whose band gap is 1.43 electron volt. Then you have also material like cadmium telluride whose band gap is 1.45 electron volt. You have also material like copper indium selenide. Copper indium selenide have band gap 1.04 electron volt. So these materials are basically used for the preparation of or production of the solar cell. Actually, solar cells are produced in the form of solar panels. The important criteria for the selection of a material for solar cell production or fabrication are as follows. So while fabricating a solar cell, we should keep in mind these following 5 factors. Number 1 is band gap. The semiconducting material from which you prepare the solar cell must have band gap in between 1 electron volt to 1.8 electron volt. The semiconducting material must have high optical absorption of the order of 10 to the power 4 per centimeter. Optical absorption means absorption of electromagnetic radiation. That means the semiconducting material must have good electromagnetic radiation absorption capacity. The third thing is the electrical conductivity. The semiconducting material must have good electrical conductivity. Then the fourth point is availability of the raw material, and the fifth point is the cost. So while fabricating the solar cell or solar panel, we have to keep in our mind these 5 important points. Now let us discuss about the construction of the solar cell in detail. Consider a p-type silicon wafer of about 300 micrometer thickness. You see in this figure, this is a p-type silicon wafer whose width is about 300 micrometer. A thin layer of n-type silicon of thickness near about 0.3 micrometer is grown on one side by diffusion process. This n-type material have very small thickness of the order of 0.3 micrometer because on the surface the light radiation falls and it travels and it moves to the junction of the solar cell. The other side of the p-type silicon wafer, p-type silicon semiconductor is coated with a metal called back contact. You see, this metal is called back contact. Okay, on the top of the n-type silicon wafer, n-type silicon semiconductor, a metal finger electrode. You see, this is a metal finger electrode. Okay, so a metal finger electrode, or you may say metallic grid, is deposited. So this is called metallic finger electrode, this one, or metallic grid, it is deposited. This acts as front contact. So this one is your front contact and this is your back contact. The metallic grid occupies a very small fraction of the cell area. This metallic grid occupies a small fraction, about 15% of the cell area, total cell area, because light can be incident on the cell from the top. So now you have two electrodes. This is one electrode and this is another electrode from which you can get the electric potential. This metallic finger electrode is your cathode and this black contact is your anode, and it is connected to the external source. The cathode and anode is connected to the external source. Now let us discuss about the working of the solar cell. When light falls on the solar cell, electron hole pairs are produced close to the p-n junction. Okay, when light falls on the solar cell, electron hole pairs are produced close to the p-n junction. Due to the electric field of the depletion region, the electrons and holes, they get separated. Electrons are swept to the n side and holes move to the p side. The electrons reaching the n side are collected by the front contact and the holes reaching the p side are collected by the back contact. So the p side becomes positive and n side becomes negative, giving rise to photovoltage. When an external load is connected, a photocurrent is produced in the load. You see, this is the circuit diagram for the photocell. Near the p-n junction, light is falling. So the whole electron pair is producing near the junction. At the p-n junction, you have electric field. Due to this electric field, the whole electron pair breaks and electron move to the n side and hole move to the p side, producing a negative potential here in the n side and a positive potential at the p side. So when a external source is connected, then current will flow from p side to n side. This current IL is called your photocurrent. IV characteristics of solar cell. The IV characteristic of solar cell is drawn in the fourth quadrant of the coordinate axis. It is because a solar cell does not draw current but supply current to the load. If we plot a graph taking potential along x-axis and current along y-axis, then the graph so obtained is called IV characteristics graph. You see in this graph, when the current is decreasing, the potential is increasing, and this is the nature of the IV characteristics curve of solar cell. Here ISC is the short circuit current. When there is no load, the current which is produced in the solar cell is ISC, and VOC is the open circuit voltage. When there is no potential or no load is connected or circuit is open, the voltage is called the open circuit voltage and it is VOC. Now let us discuss about the symbol of photovoltaic cell or solar cell. The symbol of photovoltaic cell is like this. Here this is the anode and this is the cathode and this is the incidence of light. So this is a single PN junction which produces maximum open circuit voltage of approximately 0.5 volt to 0.6 volt. But solar panels are produced using large number of such type of PN junctions. Why silicon and gallium arsenide are preferred materials for fabrication of solar cell? In addition to band gap, these materials have relatively higher absorption coefficient. Remember, silicon and gallium arsenide have higher absorption coefficient. That is why silicon and gallium arsenide are preferred materials for solar cells. Now let us discuss some uses of solar cells. Solar cells are very useful in space vehicles. Solar cells are also used in transportation like automobiles. We basically use solar cells in calculators. We also use solar panels in our home for to use solar heaters, solar cookers. We also use solar panels in electrification or electricity in our home. So there are so many uses of solar cells.